Every so often, the very foundation of how we see the world shifts. It's not usually a big, loud event. It's a quiet realignment of what's possible. And we're in one of those moments right now. This is about a whole new relationship with the most complex system you'll ever know, yourself. Just think about this for a second. Right now, you probably know the exact battery percentage of the phone you're using. You know how much storage it has left. But what about you? What's the real-time status of your own body, your own cells? We've been living with this really strange irony for a long time, being more plugged into our devices than we are into our own biology. Well, that era is ending. The time of digital chaos, 100 different apps, 100 different logins, all of them fighting for your attention, that's over. And this is the part you really need to understand. Methos is not another icon on your screen that you have to manage. It is foundational. It's a system layer that runs underneath everything else, quietly connecting your digital world to your biological reality. So what we're talking about is a complete paradigm shift. We are moving away from the past, that reactive world of digital clutter where you had to manually punch in data and just hope for a simple answer. And we're stepping into the future, an autonomous, predictive system that works for you in the background without needing you to do a thing. It's the difference between just driving the car and actually being the architect of the entire journey. So the big question is, how does this all work? How does this invisible system operate? Well, it needs a completely new way for our technology to talk with our biology. It needs a universal language. At the very heart of Methos is something we call the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. The easiest way to think of it is as an invisible server, a kind of universal translator that, for the very first time, lets technology truly understand the human body. It's the bridge that's always been missing. With MCP in place, your biology is no longer this isolated, closed-off system. It can now speak to any piece of hardware. It can connect with any external AI. Basically, you become readable to your entire digital world, which allows it to serve you in a way that's actually intelligent. And once you have that foundation, it makes things possible that honestly feel like science fiction, but they're happening today. It enables an autonomous future guided by an invisible hand. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine, somewhere in Helsinki, a new scientific paper gets published, and it has a breakthrough discovery that is directly relevant to one specific marker in your unique genome. Now, you don't know this study even exists. Who has time to scan global research databases? But your system does. So, while you're asleep, Methos finds that study, understands it, and automatically updates your personal nutrition protocol. You wake up the next morning and your body is already being optimized based on the latest science. You didn't have to lift a finger. The information found you. You didn't have to hunt for it. Or think about this, the brain for your future smart home. The system predicts you're going to have a nutrient deficit, let's say magnesium, in the coming days. So it pings your smart fridge through MCP. The fridge checks and sees it doesn't have what's needed, so Methos just autonomously places a delivery order. The perfect fuel for your biology just shows up at your door. This isn't a fantasy. It's just the next logical step. Now, a vision for an autonomous system like this is really powerful, right? But it's completely meaningless if it isn't built on an unshakable foundation of data. It has to be built on truth. Not just one source of truth, but three, all woven together. What this whole process is doing is building what we call a biological digital twin. Think of it as a high-fidelity predictive model of you that's always being updated and refined. And it's created by triangulating three fundamental layers of your biological reality. These layers all work together to create a picture that's incredibly accurate. First, there's your DNA. We call that the code. It's your permanent blueprint. Second is your blood. That's the state. A perfect biochemical snapshot of what's happening inside you right now. And third, the data from your wearables. We call that the pulse, the continuous rhythm of your daily life. By bringing together the code, the state, and the pulse, we get to your biological truth. Which brings us to the final idea here, the entire purpose of all of this. Look, the era of just tracking things, counting our steps, logging our food, it was a necessary first step. We had to learn how to measure things. But that is not the end goal. Simply watching the numbers on a screen is no longer enough. It's time to stop just living and start running your own code. Join the evolution.
Methos. Your biological operating system.